What's going on, Blog Tribe? Pete from Do You Even Blog here, joined today by a lovely guest who has been thinking about starting a podcast for quite a while, but hasn't taken the leap yet. Please put your hands together for Pete from 10 years ago.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I've been a fan for a long time. And
so Pete, if podcasting is the new blogging, if podcast downloads are growing across the world, now is the perfect opportunity to start a podcast for your online business or with your blog. It's so valuable. The opportunity is massive. Why haven't you jumped in yet?
Yeah, I just don't know if I have what it takes. I feel slightly uncomfortable just talking to you now. I don't know if I can, talk on a podcast and my voice sound good, and I just don't know if I have what it takes.
So I totally get that. When I was your age, I felt the same way. But answer me this, when you first rode a bike, were you super awesome at it? When you first starting math, could you immediately do calculus? No. Podcasting, talking on a microphone, running a podcast is just like setting up a website or blogging or anything. You get better the more you do it, and you get better with time. Yeah, some people are more natural at it than others, but everybody, I swear, every person on the planet, if they can talk, if they can use their voice, you can absolutely develop that skill rather quickly.
Okay, but I also just don't know if anybody really wants to listen to me. I mean, who would want to listen to me?
I just had one of my Online Impact members, Ryan, say that his wife told him, "Who wants to listen to you?" when he was thinking about starting. And his podcast has getting close to 1 million downloads now.
Yeah, but that's not me. I just don't know if I can create some audio content that anybody would want to listen to.
Truth be told, this is just one of those things that isn't true. People like listening to stuff. People like reading your content. People like watching your YouTube videos. They'll enjoy your podcast too. The more you can create and get better at it, especially, the quicker you're going to realize that's actually not true. People care what you have to say, even if it takes a little while to find those people.
Okay, but what about time? I actually have a blog and I don't have a family yet, but I know I want to spend a lot of time with my kids one day, and I already have a full-time job in accounting. I just don't think I have time to not only start the podcast, but also just learn how to podcast.
You're sitting here talking to me. You could be podcasting right now.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you joking?
Nope. Let me tell you something. Over the past few years, all of the podcasting editing software and different tools around the internet, both free and paid, have come leaps and bounds ahead of where they were even just a few years ago. The time has never been easier to start a podcast, to edit a podcast, to produce it start to finish. It has never been easy or less time consuming than it is right now.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of not what I've figured. I've actually heard from a lot of people that podcasting is hard and it takes a long time to figure things out. And how do you learn the magic secrets to producing a podcast so quickly?
I'm so glad you asked. This is part of the reason why I developed Podcourse.
What's Podcourse?
Thanks for asking. Podcourse is a full online course that uncomplicates this entire process of starting, launching, and growing a podcast. Oh, and by the way, Podcourse is included in Online Impact. That's right. If you join us in Online Impact, it's our private membership community, #onlineimpact.co, Podcourse is one of the included courses that you'll get as part of your membership fees. April 13, come join us in Online Impact. You'll get Podcourse too. No, seriously, there are some amazing tools and systems and tips and tricks to save time podcasting. For one, just setting up templates, doesn't matter what DAW, digital audio workstation, you use, setting up templates to automatically have your effects and plugins that you only configure once, and then you just copy and paste every single podcast episode. Another thing would be to use some sort of automated tool like Auphonic or Fix My Levels or even Levelator. These tools can help you take raw audio that you just recorded and turn it into, boom, podcast standards, sounds great on my radio, etc., etc. There's a wealth of systems and tools you can use to make podcasting seriously not time consuming.
I don't know. This seems like a lot. Podcasting seems super hard.
Meh.
I mean, but it is.
Meh.
Are you gonna?
Okay. So seriously, break it down for me. What seems hard about podcasting?
Okay, so really just the technical parts of audio production. I wouldn't know where to. I'm not an audio engineer.
So, me either.
I mean, I don't know the first thing about EQs.
Me either. I have a podcast.
Or compression.
Me either.
But I don't know the ins and outs and the intricacies of the podcast loudness standard, LUFS.
So again, 10 years ago, you would be correct. Processing audio, becoming a podcast editor and audio engineer, that would require like degrees. Now it requires free tools that do the job for you.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm pretty sure it was 10,000 podcast editors out there in the world that just gasped in unison. The technical parts of podcasting are as easy or as hard as you want to make them in 2020. That's the honest truth.
Okay, so what about like interviewing people and how to make an audio show that is actually good and people want to listen to? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, again, so that's a skill learned just like anything else. That's a lot of what I teach in Podcourse. Hashtag it's included in Online Impact. Join us on April 13, hashtag onlineimpact.co. Seriously, developing a show format, getting some basic interview questions just in a bullet list that you can use as needed. The art of talking on a microphone and communicating is a learned skill. You can learn and get better at these things, and you might be surprised how quickly you can get better at it.
Okay, so what about equipment? It seems like I need to like shell out a bunch of money for like new microphones and headphones, and I'm not sure I have the budget for that.
No, that's a totally valid concern. I actually don't have that much budget for, new gear either.
I mean, where do I even begin? I've watched some YouTube videos and I'm just overwhelmed with what microphones I need, and podcast hosting costs money too, and I'm just overwhelmed by all that. I'm not even really sure where to start.
Yeah, I totally get that.
So what do I do?
So I got two things for you. Number one, you can absolutely use your phone or your built-in laptop computer or a $10 headset or the headset you already have with your iPhone. Seriously, the way editing software and tools like Alphonic and Fix My Levels, the software has come so far, it can adjust for a lot of the really crappy microphones. No, you're not gonna sound like NPR, but that's okay. It's going to be listenable. I can teach you how to do that. And the other thing is microphones, even more so than 10 years ago, have gotten a lot cheaper. This plugged into my shirt right here cost me $18. It's a lavalier mic. I can go all over the room with it plugged in, and it sounds fine. It sounds fine. Is it amazing? Is it a Heil $300 microphone? No, but it sounds fine. It was $18. And by the way, you don't need to pay for hosting. You can go to redcircle.com. It's a new podcasting startup. It's free as in beer podcast hosting. And you can use tools like GarageBand if you're on a Mac or Audacity if you're on a PC. 100% free as in beer editing tools. The honest truth is that you can start a podcast now, today, for free, and using a specific set of tools, you can make it sound pretty dadgum good. For more information, I'd recommend checking out Podcourse when we launch June 1, or join Online Impact April 13 if you want to get early access.
Pete, from 10 years from now, do you actually just have any easy videos I can watch to learn more about the gear?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. I'll link to it up here. It's podcasting gear for beginners, and I will walk you through all that great stuff. You can check that out.
Okay, so maybe one of the last questions, is this whole starting a podcast thing going to be worth it? I mean, I kind of want to build like an online business for some extra money. Is this going to be like a profitable thing?
Pete, from 10 years ago, let me tell you something. About 7 years from now, for you, you are going to start Do You Even Blog? The podcast is going to come first, and you're not going to know what you're doing, but you know what? 2.5, 3 years after that, you're going to be running a full-time online business. Thank you to your podcast. Thank you very much. So podcasting is like blogging. It is a marketing channel for reaching people. So yeah, when you first start podcasting, you're not going to get a whole lot of big sponsorship deals. Just like when you first start blogging, those little display ads are going to make you pennies. However, there's totally affiliate marketing and having your own products and courses and membership sites that you can promote with small audiences to start generating income. It's like anything else. It's a marketing channel, just like blogging, just like YouTubing and all that other stuff.
Okay, so I have to be honest with you. This is all really fun, but I am a little overwhelmed at this point. It still seems like a lot. Even after that, it seems like a lot to get through.
Pete from 10 years ago, I totally get that. In fact, that's why I created Podcourse. I have my entire podcasting system, step by baby step, that breaks out the entire process start to finish. You do not have to have any brain cells in order to take Podcourse and walk away with a podcast that is awesome, you are super proud of, you're confident about, and it doesn't take you a lot of time each and every week. So come join us in Online Impact on April 13. You'll actually get access to Podcourse early. It doesn't launch to the public till June 1, but you can grab access early. It'll be included in your membership. April 13, onlineimpact.co. You'll also have access to Podcourse. So the answer to your question is yes, I'm crazy. The answer to your other question is also yes. There is a massive opportunity for those willing to take a chance and start a podcast. All of those roadblocks we just talked about, thank you, Pete, from 10 years ago, all of those roadblocks were a lot more serious even just a couple of years ago. The state of podcasting tools and software and Podcourse is going to teach you like some systems to make it easier and simpler and less complicated. It is totally a doable thing. You have to believe me. And you have to believe me when I say that podcasting is a massive opportunity right now. Over 500 million active blogs, over 30 million active YouTube channels, less than 1 million active podcasts. The average time somebody reads a blog post is between 5 and 10 minutes. The average time somebody watches a YouTube video is 2 to 5 minutes. The average time somebody spends on a social media post is less than 1 minute. People will listen to all of my 90-minute podcast episode. Not everybody all the time, but the average listenership for a podcast episode is way more than a YouTube video or a blog post. It's engaging, it's fun, it's not nearly as complicated or as hard as it sounds. It's really not. If you want to learn everything I know, come join us on onlineimpact.co. April 13th is when we launch. You can learn more all through Podcourse, which will be available June 1 to the public. Thank you for watching this video. I'd like to give a special shout out to Pete from 10 years ago. Adios, Blog Tribe.